Welcome everybody. Today we're going to paint the Leopard to A4 in an early gray-green color. Before we get started here, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll be making more content as we go forward. My goal in this build is to do a quick paint job. My thought is I want to do enough work to have a great looking vehicle on the game table, but I don't want it to take a lot of time. So I'm going to stick with just a couple of coats of the main color, a base and a highlight. Then I'm going to pin wash it and matte varnish it and really be done. The first thing to start to make this a quick paint job is I prime the model in black. This allows me to skip the pre-shade step, which I do in other models that take a longer time. If I just paint it black, then when I apply the base color, I just won't apply it to the entire model. I'll apply it to a majority of the model, but not everywhere. This speeds up the process by allowing me to skip a step, which is the pre-shading, and get a good result in the painting. Now my base color is a Vallejo yellow olive. I really like this color. It took me a little bit to find this shade to be the shade for German vehicles. This vehicle would be when the Leopard first got introduced, the Leopard 2 first got introduced until about 1984 when they started transitioning to the NATO camouflage. So this works for quite a bit of time frame. So here I'm just putting down the base color. And again, I am leaving a lot of the shadow. I'm mainly hitting a lot of the flat surfaces, everything I want to have some good color, but not covering the model 100%, just enough to, leaving just enough to show some shadows and some depth. Now this is my third step in the process. After doing the black priming, the base color, I now lighten the base color. And I do that by adding yellow directly into the cup of the airbrush, mixing it in with my paint until I'm satisfied I have a lighter green color. And then I hit the model where I think is going to be the highlights. This is any flat panel. This would be the hatch covers, the big front panel of the tank. This is the back engine deck. This is a lot of surface of the turret especially, and I just lighten it up. I just do it till it looks good. I don't really overthink it. I have fun with the airbrush at this stage and put on some light green color anywhere where I think it needs some more depth. Now for this step, I paint the details. And the main details on the Leopard are the tools and the tow hatch on the back, along with the machine gun on the loader's hatch. I like to do the details because it brings something to the model besides the color green. And I'm going to do brown for the tool handles, right, like wood tool handles. I'm going to do a gray for the tow cable to make it look like steel. I'm going to do a gray for the machine gun. I'll do a black wash later on it to make it stand out. And then I'll do the covers on the smoke launchers just to have them stand out as well. I like painting the details because it adds a different color than the base color to the model, and it really makes it pop. The only drawback on the Leopard 2 is that the tools you see me painting here now get covered up by the length of the turret. So unless the turret is turned almost completely sideways, you never get to see this part. But it's still worth doing because when you're showing the model off or someone takes a look at it, they'll see that extra care and detail you put into it. Again, this is pretty fast. I don't spend a ton of time doing this. just enough to knock it out so I can get the model done. My next step here is to do a pin wash. Now I'll have to apologize because the footage I had of doing the pin wash was all out of focus, except the very end, which is what you see here. And this is the result of the pin wash, but hopefully you've seen me do a pin wash before. And I use a dark brown wash for green vehicles from Ammo of MiG. It's my favorite pin wash medium. And I just gently go through and hit the spots where I want the shadow to be. It just is really light. It's in minimal areas around all the detail, and it really makes the model stand out. In the next stage, I'll do a pin wash cleanup, where anywhere I didn't want the pin wash to be, I can gently clean it up using some enamel thinner. So now it's time for the pin wash cleanup. I use a flat brush. I just put a little bit of enamel thinner on it, then I dab it off. So it's just moist, but it's not wet with enamel thinner. And then I go to cleaning it up. Anywhere I have shadow, anywhere I have the pin wash where I don't want it, I just lightly brush it off. This is the best thing about the pin wash, is that you can clean up anywhere where it's not supposed to be. You have a lot of control over the pin wash. And so this stage takes a little bit. It's pretty fun to watch the transformation from where you did a lot of mistakes with a pin wash, or it just got too liquidy and it went too many places, and you start cleaning it up and then you reveal the details. I like this part of the painting steps. After I do this, I'm pretty much done. I'm going to put a matte coating on it next, and then I'll be finished. So after cleaning up the pin wash, I did a matte varnish to dull down the vehicle. And this is the result. It was quick, it was easy, probably took me about 2 hours to do the entire process, start to finish. And I really like how it came out. I also took a picture of it next to the martyr green that I painted. It's a different color green, and I wanted to show you the difference between the two. I really like the gray green. I painted the Leopard over the martyr one. I might go paint another martyr just to have a martyr in that color. So I hope you enjoyed this painting video, and I encourage you to go out and paint your own. Thanks.